City Council. My name's Donald Burns. I brought just 3 documents down here I want to touch on. First is Shamrock Manor Civic Club, DBA. The city attorney, back in 2004, they were representing one of those civic clubs. That's all they filed. On the second page is a dismiss of want of prosecution from that city attorney. It only took them 60 days to file a lawsuit against me. This all started on September the 17th with a rush complaint by Joseph Boxey. On the 19th of 04, they were already doing an investigation while Mr. Boxey was down there filing a DBA for Boxey and Brown. The DBA was sent to Mr. Brown's address at 3721 Highford. They are in the construction business. Joseph Boxey, Roy Madison, 21 Highford. They are in the construction business. Joseph Boxey, Roy Madison, Benny Strange. Real estate, they're excluding people from building homes. The city departments, civic, neighborhood protection, code enforcement, they're pulling permits for people, restricting people from building homes. I had 15 pieces of property. I was excluded, not included, excluded. They filed their deed restrictions on July the 2nd of 02. 6 months later, they record their signatures. They collect their signatures and record them in November of 02. They do their notice of compliance September the 19th, but they don't mail them out until January the 3rd, 72 hours before they come valid. They were notices of compliance. One of my people that I sold a home to, Miss Tucker, has lived in her home for 35 years. Her husband was a Buffalo soldier. She's dying of cancer. This is a neighborhood we're being excluded because you associate with somebody that's white or you're not in the clique. Only 61 people signed for those deed restrictions. They were all black. I mean, this is just a direct, organized crime for profit. When you have more than 3 people, it's organized crime. I've connected 4 people, all in construction. And permits don't lie. State Representative Emma Allen, after she signed for those, she put in a swimming pool. Her fence don't meet the back set, and neither does that efficiency apartment. It is exclusively for who they want to represent, and it's for profit. The African's house was tore down during the weekend tear down. A house under construction, they busted up the concrete slab and took it with them. The only time I've ever seen a neighborhood weekend tear down, but I've never seen being litigated, submitted for prosecute to be sued within 60 days. The city don't move that quick. If you move that quick, we would have a perfect clean city.
Thank you, sir. Your time has expired.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sorry that I'm not a crackhead and a offender.
You have been down here a number of times, and your complaint is with the Shamrock Manor Civic Club. That is a private entity and a private relationship.
The city attorney has been representing them deed restrictions as valid deed restrictions.
Your complaint is with the Shamrock Manor
it's not
Civic Club, and it's not with the city of Houston. Is not part of your. I mean, we have seen each other a number of times down here. You've been down here more than once. Chair recognizes your district council member, Councilmember Boykin.
Thank you, Mayor. That's what I was going to say, Mr. Burns. First of all, I appreciate you taking time out this afternoon and explaining to me your case and your side of it. And I was going to ask you, what is it you're expecting from the city? Because I am a new council member, and this is new information for me. But the mayor took the words out of my mouth. I just kind of want to know where, from a city perspective, what we can do.
Well, since the trailer park at 3819 is gone, which I held the mortgage to, which these are adjoining properties right down 2 blocks from Martin Luther King Clinic. Since they fraudulently filed false documents, and then the city of Houston represented them, they never validated them before they represented them. And all their taxes have been on property, a lot of it that I owned, I held the mortgage to, or I owned. They're doing it for profit. The city of Houston has represented those deed restrictions. They have never validated
Have
them.
you had a meeting because of time? I just don't want to hold it up. Have you met with the legal department, Mr. Burns?
Oh, yeah,
about this?
I met with them. I've got several recordings with the legal department. Yeah, they're blatantly, there's
So
nothing to
from
say.
our perspective, as your council
perspective
member, what?
is if somebody has filed documents that were fraudulent with the county and the city has represented them as valid deals and they have litigated them and held my property up in 5 to 6 years while they're building the Martin Luther King Clinic where I could have been making money on that corner. They've already got rid of a property that I had over $800 a month income. I'm sorry that I'm not a crackhead and I'm not a dope fiend and I'm not reoffending. I got 29 calendar years done and I'm not letting you violate my civil and constitutional rights. And when they're doing it and they're sending those letters down there to that prison, it's a violation of my 1983 civil rights violations. And they're doing it as a group of people for profit.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like my pictures back.
Okay, Mr. Morgan, Mr. Dan Morgan, to be filed by Mr. Randall Beeman.
All right, y'all. Today I'm here to talk about